and we are in Old San Juan today. And Old San Juan is actually one of the best preserved examples of Spanish colonial architecture. And we're going to start the day off with a tour of this historic city and find out a lot more about it. I actually love to hear the history of places, so I'm really looking forward to that.
All right, one thing I really like about, speaking of the architectures, I don't know why, but I like cobblestone roads. They're charming to me, I guess. And then the colorful buildings and everything for that old colonial Spanish architecture is just beautiful out there.
And after that, I'm hoping to get into just a little bit of shopping, and I want to check out the museum too before we leave here. We're hoping after that we go over and have lunch, and we're gonna see if we can check out a place called Oasis, which actually means root in Spanish, we were told. And it was actually recommended to us by two different people. You don't know, but one of the Uber drivers and the bellman over at the Wyndham Grand. So both of them recommended this place, so we want to run by there. If we have a little bit of time, we may check out, there's a local sort of rum bar where they have like 26 different types of rums. That's a surprise for Paul. And if we can fit that in, and then we're going to run over and board the cruise ship. It's embarkation day to leave, and we are on the Norwegian Viva, which is their newest ship. So I'm looking forward to that too.
All right, stay tuned.
Wait, that's not everything. Because
wait.
once we get on the ship, we're gonna have dinner on the ship, and we're probably gonna do some entertainment.
Okay.
Look for some
It's gonna be a
live
long-
entertainment. Yeah, it's gonna
Long,
be
fun-filled day.
yeah. So stay with us and let's see what happens next.
Okay, so this is Old San Juan. Cobble street roads, colorful storefronts.
Spanish architecture. So this is the basilica that you could see from our hotel room right outside of our room, and this is the front side of it. 1604.
The best pina coladas.
So let's go try it. So apparently you can drink alcohol and walk on the streets in Puerto Rico, and they've been making these pina coladas for 60 years.
And we've heard these are the best.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good.
Dragonfly that came after you.
All right.
I'm looking for something that says Puerto Rico though on it. Don't see anything, do you?
Yeah. for the.
Okay.
All right, sunken cook.
I don't know how to open this up.
Oh, that's sweet all by itself. Yeah, sugar shot.
Alright.
Oh, it was gooey in the middle.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna have a little bit of this. Put it in and squeeze it.
Put it in. Okay.
Cheers.
There you go. Cheers.
Cheers. So we are now at Rice's, which was recommended to us by a couple of different people, and our tour just happened to end here.
That was
So we were literally at this place, so I'm like, okay, well, let's eat here. And so let's see what they have. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be
it's gotta be a-
traditional
gotta be a
Puerto
sign.
Rican fare. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gotta
gotta be a sign, eh?
Gotta be a sign. Okay, so let's see what they have. Taste Puerto Rico.
well. That's why we're here.
So we just finished our city tour, and it was actually, I loved it. And the city tour we took was historic, and it was done with, when you go on, just so you can find the right one, on Viator, it was the gentleman who is an author. So he wrote a book, and he was the one that did our tour, and it was very informative, and I enjoyed it very much. One of the things we learned is what Puerto Rico means, which I did not know.
Do tell.
It means that it stands for the rich port. So Puerto Rico was founded by the Spanish and by Christopher Columbus,
Right.
and they had exports.
Which was another interesting story about Christopher Columbus, because he thought he was going to India
Yeah,
and ended up here. It's like, oh, here we're in India. So it was a short trip.
and what does that mean?
That means that he thought that the people here were Indian.
Right, and that's why the locals were called Indians, because he thought he was in India. So 1493, Christopher Columbus was here and claimed it for Spain. So this is a Spanish colony originally. And because of all their exports, they were exporting gold, silver, and sugar, and rum. And so it was called the rich port because of all the exports. So I thought that was a really interesting thing. And the other thing I didn't know, which was also fascinating, was that Ponce de Leon is actually buried here. So he was a governor of Puerto Rico, and he's actually buried here.
One Ponce
Juan Ponce de Leon.
De Leon.
Juan Ponce de Leon is actually buried here. So we were in St. Augustine and did the Fountain of Youth and everything, but he was actually governor of San Juan, which is named after, of course, St. John, because it was a Spanish colony. And he was a governor and buried here. So it was a very important, I love the tours just because now we know what we're looking at.
Right.
So anyway, now we're going to try lunch.
I thought it was kind of well. Actually, I thought it was kind of interesting too. Not just is the cobblestone, because you know I like cobblestone, was actually the ballast weights for the ships. And if you look at all the streets that have all the cobblestone over the years, that was a lot of ships that came in with those bricks in the ballast of their ships for balancing. Right? So they would come here full of bricks, load up, trade the bricks for goods, and then that would become the ballast weight, and then they would ship it back to Europe.
Yep.